I recently watched the 2024 version of the Best Christmas Pageant Ever and found it to be my favorite Christmas movie of 2024.
I'm clapping for you.
Sorry, Red One. The Dallas Jenkins film is a feature film adaptation of the classic story of a small-town church's annual Christmas Eve nativity play that gets turned upside down when the Herdman, 6 rowdy, misbehaved kids known as the Town Terrors, land all of the lead roles.
How could you let this happen?
It's not fair that a whole family who doesn't even go to our church just barged in and took over the pageant.
Injustice was done. We all agree it was a travesty.
Because the Herdmans volunteered for the pageant.
The church community expects a disaster, but what unfolds is the best Christmas pageant ever. In 1972, author Barbara Robinson wrote a short version of the Best Christmas Pageant Ever story for McCall's magazine. A year later, she expanded the story into arguably her most famous work. Barbara Robinson had an opportunity to expand her story, adapting the book into a television movie that aired on ABC in 1983.
The Herdmans are the worst kids in the whole history of the world. They lie and steal and smoke cigars, even the girls.
And now they want to take over the Christmas pageant.
I'll be Mary, and Ralph over there, he'll be the Joseph.
Where did they come from? Who let them in?
Loretta Swit's got her hands full to make this the best Christmas pageant ever.
It starred Loretta Swit as Grace, known for playing Hot Lips on MASH. I don't have any nostalgia for the source material. I don't recall ever reading the book as a child, and only recently, while working on my Year in Christmas 1983 video, watched the television version. I discovered through my research that the book and the television adaptation are beloved, even expanding to a stage adaptation. I enjoyed the 1983 television version, but the screenplay lacked pacing and any real character development. Loretta Swit kept this movie interesting, but for me, the television adaptation of the story failed to capture the spirit of the book or its heart. But after watching the 2024 version, I rewatched the 1983 TV version as well, and I was intrigued at the similarities, yet how different both versions are. So taking a side-by-side comparison, we'll look at what each got right, where they differ, and how the heart of Barbara Robinson's beloved book shines through in both. Let's take a deep dive and look how the new film greatly improves the best Christmas pageant ever. Grace is the married mother of Charlie and Beth, and she takes care of her family, attending the local church in the small town of Emmanuel. Judy Greer and, as mentioned, Loretta Swit both take on the role of Grace, who unexpectedly is put in charge of the annual Christmas pageant. Helen Armstrong, a prominent member of the church, takes on a lot of tasks, including directing the annual Christmas pageant.
This is us last year. That's Alice. You met her earlier, in her 3rd year playing Mary. And that's Mrs. Armstrong, who's directed the pageant for forever and makes sure nothing ever changes.
But shortly before the 75th anniversary of the play, she falls, breaking both of her legs. The TV version stays true to this book, with the church members discussing and agreeing that Grace should take over.
I wonder what they will do about all those things she's in charge of.
I'll take over the bazaar, and if you'll do the potluck supper. I don't know what we'll do about the pageant unless...
I just can't, Edna. I've got company all Christmas week. How about Grace?
So glad you called.
How about Grace?
What? I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
You have my sympathy.
Is that all?
No, you can also have my bathrobe for a shepherd.
And?
No, that's it, Grace. Sympathy and a bathrobe.
Reluctantly, Grace accepts. However, Judy Greer's version changes this for the benefit of the character.
I suppose I could try.
Grace volunteers for the pageant in response to Rebecca, another mom who consistently makes disparaging remarks, including the time she brought store-bought cookies to an event instead of baking them fresh.
That's okay, Grace. The pageant is an especially big deal this year. You can bring the cookies, that's your thing.
I'm sorry, my thing? Bringing the cookies is my thing?
Well, your store-bought brand from last year was so tasty.
I love this change in the story. Grace is no longer kept in the background.
One other thing about my mom, she preferred keeping life simple, but if one of the judgy town moms challenged her, she'd try anything, even...
Mrs. Armstrong?
You did what? You volunteered to direct the Christmas pageant?
She needed help.
She took a stance and assured Helen Armstrong that this will be the best Christmas pageant ever. It improves upon the character. It gives her strength. It gives her a reason to make this a great play.
We're here. You made it. Be proud of that.
We've never once run through the whole thing. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. If the Herdmans show up, it might be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men get in a fight and Mary lights a stogie and hightails it with the baby.
Beth Bradley.
The Herdmans are absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world.
The Herdmans are the worst kids in the whole history of the world.
The narrator and the other lead of our story is Grace's daughter, Beth. She's played by Fairuza Balk in the TV series, and Molly Bell Wright portraying the younger version of Beth. She tells us the history of the herdsmen and what is taking place throughout the story.
They lie and steal and smoke cigars, even the girls, and talk dirty and hit little kids and cuss their teachers and take the name of the Lord in vain.
The TV version breaks the fourth wall with Beth telling the audience in real time what is happening. The movie takes a smarter approach. We hear Beth's narration, but not as a child, but as an adult version of Beth.
The Herdmans were absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world. They lied. They stole. They smoked cigars. Even the girls. They hit little kids, even if the little kids were bigger than them. They took the Lord's name in vain. They cussed teachers.
She is telling us a story, giving us insight into the herdsmen, her mother's decision-making, and what she is thinking at that moment. At the end of the film, we discover that the narrator is Gilmore Girls alum Lauren Graham, who is now grown, directing the pageant and telling the story of the best Christmas pageant ever.
Can I try those?
Well, those were Gladys's wings. She won't let anyone else wear them. But if you run on downstairs, we'll find you a whole new set.
Young Beth supports her mom, as it is just as concerned for her well-being and how the church will react to the pageant.
My mother stood up for you. She fought for you. The town practically hates her for it, but she did it anyway, because she cares about you. Thanks for coming back. You made me. I don't think so.
The villains. Every story has to have a villain, and one would assume that the villain is the herdsman children, but that's not the case.
What do you like best about Sunday school, Charlie?
There aren't any Herdmans here.
The villain in our story are the church congregation, specifically the women of the church. They don't kill or cause physical harm to anybody, but they do exclude, judge, and gossip about Grace and the herdsman children. The TV adaptation focused more on gossip than anything else. Telephone conversations between the women afraid to say anything to Grace's face. It's basically what social media does now. In the film, I was taken back by the way the women of the church were portrayed. They not only made Grace's life a living hell, but they had no problem letting her feelings known. They looked at the church as their sanctuary.
What do you all suggest? That I kick the Herdmans out of the Christmas pageant and keep them out of the church?
Yes.
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know?
New people, especially the misbehaved, poor herdsman kids, should have no place in their church. But take Rebecca, the mother of Alice. Her daughter portrayed Mary for 3 years in a row. When Imogene bullies her way into the role, Alice, taking after her mother, begins to record things that they were said to use against Grace.
And you wrote all this down? What for? For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the Ladies' Aid, and anybody else who wants to know what happened when the whole Christmas pageant turns out to be a mess.
The worst, though, who looks at Imogene and tells her in a condescending way she doesn't look like any Mary she's seen before.
You can be sweet.
Hello, Imogene. Aren't you supposed to be in costume?
I will be. I'm playing Mary.
Oh, I couldn't tell. You don't look like any Mary I've seen before. Well, gotta go prepare the potluck dinner. It's for 500 people.
The Herdman. I left discussing the Herdman near the end for a few reasons. I'm not going to try to defend their actions. They're awful kids. We all know kids that don't behave, and we're probably just as guilty as the women of the church in our judgment of them. All 6 siblings have a rough life. Beth tells us about the children known for lying, stealing, and smoking cigars. The author is very descriptive of the kids, but never really fully invests into who and why the herdsman kids are so awful. One improvement that the movie makes over the TV adaptation is Bob Bradley. The father of Beth and all other adaptations is a typical husband that does the routine. He makes sure his family goes to church, but can't be bothered to participate in activities.
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
You have my sympathy.
Is that all?
No, you can also have my bathrobe for a shepherd.
And?
No, that's it, Grace. Sympathy and a bathrobe.
That's changed. Knowing that his wife and daughter struggle dealing with the herdsman, he has them come with him as he makes his yearly ham donations to struggling families.
Come with me in the morning to do something.
What kind of something?
Sort of an errand. I think it'd be good for you to go. Something I want you to see.
He is known to the herdsman kids as the ham guy.
It's the ham man! I want some! It's ham day!
Is your mom home?
Not when the sun's up.
Well, please let her know I stopped by. I got the biggest ham for you guys.
This makes Grace and Beth realize that they are the kids that need help and shouldn't be judged. It's also Bob's way of supporting his wife, even though he would rather stay home than go to the pageant.
No mom or dad home.
Reverend Hopkins says they don't know where their mom is half the time.
I can't believe I listened to those women. What's on my mind is that Mrs. Armstrong and Mrs. Wendelkin and everyone else can stuff it.
Whoa.
After all, they raised their hands and no one else did. And that's that.
The television version has them living above a garage, while Child Protective Services attempts to intervene. The new film shows them living in a home behind a factory where their mother works. We don't get a look at their home life, but it's clear the parents are not around. Both versions tell the legend of their father jumping on a train and never returning after Gladys was born.
The Herdmans didn't know where their father was. When Gladys was 2 years old, he hopped aboard a railroad train and disappeared. Nobody blamed him.
I heard when Gladys turned 2, Mr. Herdman climbed on a railroad train and never came back. Nobody could blame him.
All right, Beth, that's enough.
Their mother works at the factory during multiple shifts, as we are told. We do get a glimpse of Mrs. Herdman showing up for the pageant. She's a pleasant woman who comes to support her children.
Good evening, Mrs. Clausing. Hope so. Good evening, Miss
Herdman.
You don't get a sense that she's out of the picture, but it's clear that Imogene has taken on the burden of caring for her siblings.
Is your mom home?
Not when the sun's up.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. I know how to cook.
I'm sure you do.
Neither the book nor the TV adaptation fully explored the herdsmen. The book begins with a description of them, known for lying, stealing, and smoking cigars. We never really get a good sense of the brothers in the television adaptation. However, that's changed in the new movie.
So, I get to be a king?
Yeah. On Christmas Eve you do.
No way Gladys can be an angel. Yes, I can. You can at least try. Great. And I just get to be some poor guy married to you.
Then we can get all the food they got.
Plus, now I got a book license.
They go to the library, they do some exploration, and you see the happiness on some of the boys. The youngest, Gladys, is the comic relief.
Shazam!
What?
Out of the black night with horrible vengeance, the mighty Marvel!
Gladys, I don't know what you're talking about.
The mighty Marvel and Wonder Comics.
No, this is the angel of the Lord who comes to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? In the black night, right?
Well, yes, in a way.
Shazam! Shazam!
Shazam.
Out of the black night with horrible vengeance, the mighty Marvel! That's the most she's ever spoke. It's a comic book.
Oh. Well then, yes, I think the angel of the Lord is kind of like a comic book hero.
Yelling at the shepherds to go see baby Jesus as the angel of the Lord.
Isn't the angel of the Lord supposed to say something?
While they are awful kids, you can see that there is hope. Something I did not get out of the original television adaptation. Imogene Herdman. I wanted to talk about Imogene solely.
Imogene was their unchallenged leader. She struck mortal fear into anyone in her path, including adults.
The biggest change in the movie was made to explore who she is, why she does what she does. She's the leader of her siblings, the oldest. They listen to her, they look up to her, and she's just a child. Imogene was portrayed by Megan Hunt in the TV adaptation and Beatrice Snyder in the movie. While Megan was fine as Imogene, she really didn't have a lot to go on.
And next spring when the pussy willows come out, I'm gonna stick a pussy willow so far down your ear where nobody can reach it. It'll sprout there and grow, grow, and grow. You'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
Sweetie, you're gonna tell me you don't want to do it. You want me to be Mary.
And why would I do that?
'Cause if you don't, then next spring, when the pussy willows come out, I'm gonna stick a pussy willow so far down your pretty little ear they won't be able to get it out. It'll sprout there and grow, and you'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing right out your head.
The herdsman children essentially came and went in the TV adaptation. Imogene was a tough girl. She wanted to be Mary. But if you watch the TV adaptation, you really don't get a sense as to why. The movie adaptation of Imogene shows us Imogene has lived a hard life. She is forced to grow up and be a caregiver for her siblings while mom works. Her entire life, she was judged by people looking down on her family because they were poor.
What happened? Herdman's happened. Herdman's in church.
Yep, all of them.
Lord have mercy on us all. What a train wreck. Nothing but trouble.
What kind of a child is that to play Mary, the mother of Jesus? It's sacrilegious.
If you can't get rid of them, why don't you have them hand out programs at the door?
We better nail down that church and lock up the silverware.
Where did they come from? Who let them in?
Yes, they were bad at lying, stealing, and smoking. And side note, I was so happy to see that they actually kept that in the movie. When they come to the church, Imogene notices the painting of Mary. After the first practice, Imogene is staring at the painting again. It's here where Grace tells Imogene that Mary was a tough one.
That Mary, she was a tough one.
Tough?
Yeah, she went through quite a lot and overcame big challenges to bring a child into the world.
Doesn't look tough, just looks sweet and pretty.
Imogene doesn't think Mary looks tough, but more pretty and sweet. It's here where we start to wonder, is Imogene looking for a mother figure or something more? It's later in the scene added for the movie that the herdsmen researched the Christmas story at the library.
There's the Christmas story.
Beth's mom was right. This Mary is kind of tough.
Imogene admits that the play is like making a movie, and that all the actors and actresses get to be somebody else.
But it's also like we get to make a movie. All the actors and actresses get to be someone else. They get to change who they are and live a different life. They can get away from their miserable lives and become someone new. That's what we get to do. And I get to be a sweet, pretty.
They get to change who they are and live a different life, become someone new. And as Mary, she gets to be sweet and pretty. All of that changes when the church women talk openly about their disdain for the herdsmen for Imogene to hear. This leads to her quitting the play, until Beth confronts Imogene, reminding her that her mother stood up for them, and the town hates her for it.
Are you gonna do the pageant?
Nope.
But I thought you wanted to be someone else, like in a movie.
Things change.
My mother stood up for you. She fought for you. The town practically hates her for it, but she did it anyway, because she cares about you.
For the first time, Imogene is vulnerable. She feels that she will never be the woman in the painting. And we realize that Imogene doesn't see herself as anything but worthless, just like the way the villains in this movie look at her.
Everyone loves Mary because she's sweet and she's pretty and I'll never be...
I'm sorry. I'm a herdman. I'm just not her.
It actually makes you wonder, is this why the herdmen are so awful? While there's a lot of differences with character development and pacing, the pageant scenes are very similar.
I don't quite know what's going to happen tonight. Maybe that's not a bad thing, because Mary and Joseph weren't so sure either.
Imogene and Ralph dress in their own rags instead of the traditional costume that Mary wears, reinforcing the fact that Mary and Joseph were refugees. Something that I think is lost today. The wise men bring the ham, and the angel of the Lord is over top in their performance.
Hey, I see you, a child is born. It's Jesus, and he's in the barn. Go on up. Go on up.
As the entire church sings Silent Night, Imogene begins to feel the Christmas spirit and begins to cry.
And then it happened.
She's crying. Mary's crying.
I took the scene as she feels accepted, and part of something that she and her siblings have never felt. This in turn brings the congregation around and hopefully inspires them.
Take a bow. Bow. I'm clapping for you.
While I'm not lost on the fact that the film has her also discovering who Jesus was, I actually feel that Imogene being somebody special is why she cried. She accomplished something. She was Mary, tough, and pretty.
Imogene once told me I'm not her. But to me, Mary will always look like Imogene Herdman.
So final thoughts. I really enjoyed the best Christmas pageant ever. It felt like Christmas, much like A Christmas Story was set in an undistinguishable time period. While my channel focuses on pop culture of the holiday, this movie is part of that and showcases a faith-based story that I find effective and not overly preachy. Barbara Robinson's original story was a good reminder of how to treat people and not be judgmental, and maybe accept people for who they are. As awfully misbehaved the Herdman kids are, they taught the congregation a valuable lesson. The TV adaptation has its flaws. It doesn't go into character study the film adaptation explores. But regardless if you're religious or not, the spirit that Imogene feels should make you want to be a better person. While it's hard to accept that people can change, it wouldn't be a Christmas film if it doesn't give you hope. I'm the Christmas Aficionado. Remember, stay off the naughty list.